Okay. Practical applications. We've been developing some sort of like little personas that we think fit well with a lot of authors who are using AI. So I'm going to go over them really quickly here. This is plotters. These are people who require a structured planning when they're writing. They like to have a, detailed outline. They need to know who their characters are and their settings are way ahead of time before they ever start writing. Then we also have pantsers. Comes from the writing by the seat of your pants, right? This is also called discovery writers. If you ever hear somebody call themselves a discovery writer, they are a pantser. They are writing into the dark. They don't know where they're going next, but they're writing and they're getting there, right? They're a little bit more flexible. And they need also AI aids that are flexible as well. Okay. We also have somebody that we like to consider calling a gardener, right? So this is somebody who just needs the AI for brainstorming. They're doing world building. They're building their characters. They're trying to figure out where the story is going and what the story is doing. And they're really only using the AI tools for that part of the process. Like once they get all that information, then they sit down and they start writing. They don't really use the AI tools much for that. You can be actually a combination of a gardener and a pantser. It's like you can see how these can be kind of flexible, right? Architects also use AI for like the business of automation, like the publication process. You can automate almost all of it with AI now. It's like you can have it write a blurb and you can have it write all your social media posts and you can have it write your newsletters and do all these parts of the process, which helps a lot for people who want the AI to do all of that hard work that you don't necessarily need a lot of creativity for. It's good for all of that architects, right? So let's go over these different little personas that we have, right? So Pantser, all right, they use tools like Novel AI, Sudowrite, Notion AI, because as they're writing, they're going to the AI for help for the next sentence or the next plot point or these sorts of things. The like Sudowrite, Notion AI, Novel AI, all these tools are really good at giving like suggestions for the next thing that's coming in the story. So that's very helpful. It's also very adaptive. It really helps in assisting the creating, a really dynamic narrative. So if you get really adept at prompting, though, you can do a lot of these tasks in Claude and GPT as well. You're not restricted to Sudowrite or Notion AI or Novel AI. You can do a lot of what you do in any one of the chat models or even in Rexy. Okay. So once you get to a point where you're really good at prompting and you're using like a mega prompt to pants, believe it or not, you can use a mega prompt to pants, get your next paragraph and your next paragraph and your next paragraph. And that can work really well for pantsers too. For plotters are leveraging all of their assets that they've made ahead of time in order to write. This comes in really handy for mega prompting. If you're going to prompt like a huge mega prompt and tell it things like your setting and your outline and your chapter brief and your characters and everything like that. That's all stuff that you've had to build ahead of time. So that's really good for plotters. So they have to think about things like managing the context window that they're prompting with the AI. So it's something to think about. GPT and Claude are really great for these tasks. So I really see a lot of plotters using GPT and Claude. Elizabeth is a plotter. She plots out most of her stuff ahead of time, and I've seen her use GPT and Claude a lot for those tasks. Gardener, this is the brainstorming person who's just using AI for brainstorming, right? You're using it for idea generating, character development, world building, anything you can think of that you need to put into a story. Maybe, maybe we even need to develop a new language for the fantasy world that you're building, right? And you can go to any of the AI tools for these sorts of things. We recommend, GPT, Claude, and the open source models for this. They can all be used for brainstorming. This is something that the AI is really, really good at. And it's good to iterate too with this as well. So you can start with world building, and you can go from like the top and down, like from how many continents are on your planet to the major cities on one continent to the neighborhoods. You can just keep drilling down, and you can do that with a lot of these AI tools, which is great. Love it. And then finally, the architect. The architect is the person who's using AI for all of the business parts of the process. You're using it to make book blurbs, to sequence, to make up your Facebook posts, to make any one of your social media stuff, to basically automate the process from beginning to end. And we see this too, like literally from beginning to end, from the brainstorming, from the gardening part to the plotting, to the actual writing, to the editing, to the book packaging, book marketing, to the publishing, right? That's an architect is doing that whole thing. So we recommend the very latest and greatest in tools. Obviously, we recommend Rexy for this because we have prompts in Rexy that will take you from all the way beginning, from ideation all the way to the end when you're marketing your book. So Rexy is very helpful for that. Rexy is also great because you can sequence all your prompts, right? You're sequencing, you're like, take this book blurb, give me, you're right. All right. So you're going to say, take this information about this book, all the setting information and the character and the outline. Give me the book blurb, take the book blurb, make social media posts about it, take the social media posts and, give me some like smaller bits to put on like my website or whatever, write website copy, write newsletter copy. And you can do all of that with sequencing prompts, and you can literally just hit a button. And once you get it going, it's doing all that work for you, which is really great. We also consider we'll make fine-tuned models of these things as well, which will help also do things in a style that resonates most with you. Because like I said before, somebody may like Claude much better for writing social media posts, and another person might like OpenAI. But you might be able to fine tune one of those models and get something even better that will be better for you. So there's a lot there, right? There's a lot going from beginning to end, and a lot of these models are going to help you get from beginning to end.